Some places fade away, but the stories they leave behind never really do. You are now receiving a transmission for Midnight Hour Broadcast, a station found somewhere between dusk and dawn. We bring you music, stories, and the occasional report of things that should not be possible. So settle in and listen close. And remember, do not change your frequency. Good evening, and welcome back to Midnight Hour Broadcast. Last time, we told you the story of Lakeview, a place that once stood like something out of a fairy tale, built in the shadow of love and left behind like a memory that never fades. But some stories don't end where the records stop. They drift past history, past certainty, past what can be proven.
I've seen places become like that, but they never feel the same twice.
That's the part people forget. Once a place becomes a story, it doesn't stay still anymore. It changes. It grows. It becomes something shaped by memory instead of fact. And that's where tonight begins. Not in records, but in what was left behind after people stopped agreeing on what was real. After the fire, after Lakeview fell silent and became known in legend as Hartford Castle, something began to appear in the stories people told, not in official records, but in accounts passed between those who lived nearby. A figure seen near the ruins of what was the estate, always at a distance, always still, dressed in what people describe as a pale dress or something that caught the light like one. They called her the Woman in White. She was most often seen near where the house once stood, at the edge of what used to be the structure, as if she was waiting for something that no longer existed. Some said she appeared near the old water line, where the moat once circled. Others claimed she stood higher up, where the upper floors would have been. But all accounts agree on one thing. She was never seen moving, and was never seen leaving.
That's not the kind of thing people usually agree on, unless something about it stayed the same in every version.
Exactly, and that is why the story remained. People stopped describing what she was and started describing what it felt like to see her, like something unfinished. There is another account, one that doesn't speak of figures seen in the distance, but something heard when nothing should have been there at all. People began reporting something unusual near the ruins. Not movement, not voices, but music. Soft, distant music, like someone playing piano notes inside of a space that no longer existed. Slow, uneven, almost careful, as if someone was playing from memory alone. But there was nothing left to play from.
Music doesn't usually survive like that, not unless someone is still listening for it.
That is what made the reports difficult to dismiss, because the descriptions never matched exactly, but they always agreed on one thing. The sound didn't feel like it belonged to the present. It felt like it belonged to something that had already ended and was trying to be heard anyway. Some said it came from where the main structure once stood. Others said it followed them only briefly before disappearing the moment they tried to locate it.
That's the kind of sound that stays with you longer than it should.
Yes, because even if you doubt it, you still remember it. And this is where the story begins to change. There is one more story that appears often in the accounts of the Hartford Castle, and unlike the others, this one is described with hesitation. Lights, seen near the ruins after dark. Some say they look like lanterns carried slowly between broken paths and collapsed stone, moving without urgency, without sound. Others describe them differently, not carried at all, just appearing, flickering in places where nothing should have been burning. But in every version, they never last long enough to be confirmed. They appear, then they vanish before anyone can decide what they were looking at.
I could see why that would bother someone more than they'd like to admit.
Yes, it would, because it doesn't leave anything behind to explain. Only the feeling that something was there and is no longer willing to be seen. And so the stories remain unfinished, not because they lack answers, but because the answers never stayed around long enough to matter. No one can say exactly when Lakeview became Hartford Castle. At some point, the name simply followed the stories. The stories passed from one person to the next until the old name slowly faded away. Some came searching for history. Others came searching for ghosts. And almost everyone left with a story of their own. Some remember a woman dressed in white. Some remember lights that should have never been there. Others remember hearing music where silence should have lived. Whether these stories are true or simply memories passed from one generation to the next, that is something each of us has to decide for ourselves.
Maybe that's the strange thing about places like this. They don't ask you to believe. They just ask you to remember.
Perhaps that is the real legacy of Hartford Castle. Not the stone, not the towers, not even the ruins, but the stories. Because stories have a way of outliving the places they were born. And every time they're told, someone else walks across that drawbridge, if only for a little while. That's how it stays. Not written, not remembered the same way twice, just carried forward.
The signal is changing again.
It does that. We don't chase it, we just let it move.
This one is called Final Curtain Falls.
passing of time, a fragile whole. What we believe is all untold. So would you lie beside me, even if it means nothing, even if everything's burning? Even if the world stops turning, let it stop. Basking under a falling sky, hearts on fire in the rising tide. The final call, the final rise, the final curtain falls tonight. So would you lie beside me, even if it means nothing, even if everything's burning? Even if the world stops turning, let it stop. If this is the end, stay close. If this is the end, hold on. If this is the end, I don't need forever. If this is the end, I just need you now. So would you lie beside me, even if it means nothing, even if everything's burning? Even if the world stops turning, let it stop.
You're still listening to Midnight Hour Broadcast.
The signal is changing again.
It never really stops. This will be our last transmission of the night.
This is Frozen Frame.
Left here wandering the streets, long forgotten, why can't I be free? Left here looking through the glass, chains binding from a lover's past. But how can I not hold on when it's everything that I've known? But why can't I see the dawn when your heart has turned to stone? I'm all alone. I'm all alone. All I can do is watch through the veil. They say I can see why. Once time stops, you drift by. Hands at the edge of my mind, still reaching for what I left behind. How can I not hold on when it's everything that I've known? But why can't I? Can I see the dawn when your heart has turned to stone? I'm all alone. I'm all alone. All I can do is watch through the veil. They say life can vanish how frail. I'm all alone. I'm all alone. If I could break this frozen frame, I call your name. I call your name. But every memory stays the same, and I remain. I'm all alone. I'm all alone. All I can do is watch through the veil. They say life can vanish how frail. I'm all alone. I'm all alone.
It seems our time at Hartford Castle has finally come to an end. For 2 nights, we wandered forgotten halls, listened to old stories, and followed whispers that refused to disappear. Whether you believe every tale or simply enjoy the mystery, thank you for walking beside us.
Some places leave you with answers, others leave you with memories. I think I like the memories more.
I believe you're right. Stories like these aren't meant to be solved. They're meant to be remembered and told again.
Until someone else finds them.
From all of us here at Midnight Hour Broadcast, thank you for spending these past 2 nights with us. We'll be listening should another signal find its way through.
Until then, sleep well.
Remember, some signals don't stay in one place for long. Good night. We'll find you again when the frequency is right.